In a world torn between sorceresses, soldiers and destiny, one quiet mercenary will face war, time itself and love that defies fate. This is the story of Final Fantasy VIII. Squall Leonhardt is a lonely cadet at Balam Garden, a military academy that trains mercenaries called CD. But despite his cool demeanour, he has a strong sense of justice and an intense desire to become stronger. One day during training, Squall and his classmates Zell, Selphie, and the sharpshooter Irvine encounter a mysterious force called a Guardian Force. These spiritual beings reside within ancient crystals called GF and can grant incredible power to those worthy enough to wield them. Squall obtains the icy summon Shiva and learns how to use the junction system to absorb magic from enemies and boost his abilities. This makes him more powerful, but also unlocks the ability to cast spells like Blizzard and Curaga. Squall's signature weapon is the Gunblade, a sword that shoots bullets and allows for special combos that trigger extra damage. And when used in tandem with Guardian forces, it becomes a deadly tool of war. On graduation day, Squall and his fellow CD successfully complete their exam, passing a simulation that tests their strategic prowess. They then take on a real-life mission, travelling to the seaside town of Dollet to assist a local resistance group. There they meet Rinoa Hartilli, a fiery young woman who wants to liberate her people from the oppressive forces of Galbadian. Despite his initial reluctance, Squall is drawn to Rinoa's spirit and becomes determined to help her cause. Together, they battle giant monsters, uncover conspiracies and forge bonds that go beyond duty and honour. However, as tensions rise, a new threat emerges. Sorceress Edea, a legendary mage thought to be long dead, returns to power. Manipulating nations into conflict, she threatens to engulf the world in war and darkness. CD is hired by the Galbadian president to eliminate this growing danger, but when Squall and his team infiltrate Edea's headquarters, they discover the true extent of her power. She uses ice magic to ensnare and defeat Squall, driving a crystal shard through his chest. Just when all hope seems lost, Rinoa arrives and helps carry Squall to safety. Though mortally wounded, Squall receives emergency treatment from Selphie's sister, a medic named Aiko, and miraculously survives. Determined to avenge his comrade, Squall trains tirelessly, unlocking new Guardian forces and mastering his limit breaks, powerful cinematic attacks unique to each character. Squall's signature move is Renzo Kuken, a rapid flurry of blade strikes that leave his enemies battered and broken. Meanwhile, Zell enhances his martial arts with limit breaks like Dragon's Teeth and Death Roll, devastating melee attacks that send opponents crashing to the ground. Selphie too hones her skills, improving her limit break, the End, which casts the game's most powerful magic spell at random. Thanks to these limit breaks, along with strategies built around Guardian forces and the junction system, players have an array of combat options. But Edea proves a formidable foe, commanding vast armies and warping space with her ice strike magic. CD suffers heavy losses, including their base being destroyed by Edea's sorcerous might. Despite setbacks, the squad perseveres, rescuing allies and uncovering secrets about Edea's past. They learn she was once a respected member of CD, framed and banished for crimes she didn't commit. Now consumed by vengeance, Edea has become a ruthless tyrant, bent on subjugating the world. As the stakes rise, so does Squall's determination to save Rinoa and defeat Edea. One night, he confesses his love for Rinoa, and they share a passionate kiss, solidifying their bond. This leads to one of the most iconic romantic scenes in gaming history, the famous Balam Garden dance. Amidst a sea of twirling couples, Squall and Rinoa steal a moment on the balcony, professing their undying love for each other. This moment underscores the importance of human connection in a world consumed by war and magic. But their romance is soon threatened. In a desperate gamble, Squall and his comrades infiltrate Galbadia's fleet, hoping to disrupt Edea's plans. However, they're ambushed by the sorceress herself, who has absorbed the power of multiple Guardian forces. To make matters worse, Edea reveals that Rinoa has been taken hostage. Squall fights valiantly, unleashing his ultimate limit break, Lionheart, a blazing flurry of sword slashes that decimate Edea's forces. But it's not enough. The sorceress overpowers him and prepares to deliver a fatal blow. In a last-ditch effort, Squall activates his GF, Ifrit, triggering a chain reaction of fire magic that weakens Idea, allowing Squall to escape with Rinoa. They flee to Balam Garden, hoping to regroup and formulate a new plan. But Idea is relentless. She penetrates the school's defences, confronting Squall in the courtyard. Once again, a fierce battle ensues. But before Squall can land a decisive strike, Idea disappears, leaving behind only a cryptic warning about the true mastermind behind the war. Now more determined than ever to protect Rinoa and restore peace to the world, Squall rallies his comrades and sets out to uncover the truth. Guided by cryptic clues and facing perilous trials, they confront dangerous creatures and unravel hidden histories. Along the way, Squall grows as a leader, balancing his responsibilities towards CD, his friends and Rinoa. He learns to control his emotions, embracing his feelings rather than suppressing them, becoming more compassionate and understanding. However, the path to victory is fraught with sacrifices and heartbreaks. Friendships are tested, alliances are broken, and the team faces devastating losses. But through it all, the bonds of love and camaraderie hold strong. Key allies like the enigmatic Laguna Loire, a soldier from a forgotten war, and the mischievous fairy Quetzalcoatl join the fight against Ultimecia. This sorceress from the future plans to compress all time into herself, becoming a deity of eternity. She pulls strings from the shadows, manipulating events to suit her grand design. Her ultimate goal is revealed, absorbing the power of the legendary sorceress, Terra Branford, and using it to reshape reality. In a shocking twist, Idea, consumed by grief over the loss of her loved ones, becomes Ultimecia's vessel. Realising the gravity of the situation, Squall and his companions race against time. They engage in epic battles against Ultimecia's agents, including the monstrous sorceress Adele. As the narrative reaches its climax, the team infiltrates Ultimecia's castle, a labyrinthine structure that defies the laws of space and time. The final confrontation is nothing short of epic. Ultimecia, wielding unimaginable powers, bends reality to her will, challenging Squall and his friends with twisted versions of familiar locations and creatures from across history. She commands an army of sorcerers and monstrous beasts, all intent on crushing the heroes. But Squall, now a skilled and confident leader, stands firm. He rallies his companions, each contributing their unique skills and guardian forces to the fight. Zell dazzles with lightning-fast combos. Irvine's barrage of shots find their mark. Quistis surprises Ultimecia with rare blue magic spells, and Selphie nearly ends the battle with a well-timed The End. All the while, Squall pushes forward, his lionheart blazing a trail through Ultimecia's forces. Finally, Squall confronts Ultimecia, the sorceress who threatens to end all of existence. With time running out, Squall unleashes his full potential, combining his gunblade skills, limit breaks and guardian force powers to deliver a final, devastating blow. Ultimecia, overwhelmed by Squall's determination, crumbles into dust. Her grip on time loosens, allowing the world to heal and history to return to its natural course. With the threat of ultimate time vanquished, Squall and his companions emerge as heroes. They've saved the world from destruction and restored balance to the forces of magic and war. But the greatest reward awaits. Squall, now truly in love with Rinoa, professes his devotion, and they share a tender embrace under the watchful gaze of the cosmos. The ending is bittersweet, symbolising the fragility of love and the preciousness of every moment. Final Fantasy VIII is more than just a game. It's a love story wrapped in war, magic and destiny. With memorable characters, a hauntingly beautiful soundtrack, and innovative gameplay mechanics like Guardian Forces, the Junction system and unforgettable limit breaks, it stands as a testament to the power of storytelling in video games.